My wife was known as the goddess of pure love. In the 3 years we were married, she only allowed hugs, kisses, and sleeping in each other's arms. She always said that true love meant resisting temptation, which tested my sincerity. But then, at my birthday party, everything changed. She was pressed against the sink by her foster brother. Gasping for breath, she whispered, "Don't worry, brother. I've never let him touch me. My heart has always been yours." Her foster brother's grip tightened around her waist, his breath ragged. "Then isn't he useless as a man? Girl, you're wicked." Isabella Moore chuckled softly. "He deserved it. He pushed me into marrying him, angering you to leave the country." The sting cut deep. I turned off my phone, walked out of the hotel quietly, no sound to mark my exit. On the way home, I called Vincent Moore, her father. "Uncle Vincent, the 3 years are up. Can I leave now?" "It's been 3 years, River. Are you really saying you haven't developed any feelings for Isabella?" A long, weary sigh came from the other end of the line. I stayed silent. How could I not? In the 3 years we'd been married, even though she never shared my bed, her actions had been those of a woman deeply in love. She bought us matching couple items, pouting playfully and saying, "One for you, one for me." Even though her work kept her busy, she never returned from a business trip without a gift for me. She never missed a holiday, always throwing a grand party for my birthday. Her kindness was the talk of our circle. And that's exactly why, even though I knew our marriage was a mere transaction, I couldn't help but give her my heart, piece by piece. But now I saw it all for what it was. Nothing but a well-played game, a calculated act of revenge. If that was the case, then I would take back what I had foolishly given her, my heart. I remained silent and Uncle Vincent took my silence as confirmation. After a long, heavy pause, he sighed again. "All right, since you're insistent, I'll keep my word. I'll arrange for your departure in half a month. But we must keep this from Isabella. She's so taken with you right now. If she finds out the truth, I fear she'll lose her mind." I curled my lips into a faint, ironic smile. Isabella? Lose her mind? Her heart had never truly belonged to me. She had deceived everyone, but I had no intention of exposing her. When I got home, I sank onto the sofa, the hours slipping by until nightfall. Isabella returned, her arms slipping around me from behind the back of the sofa. Her voice was soft and playful, like a kitten coaxing affection. "Hubby, why did you leave so suddenly? You didn't answer my calls. Did I do something wrong?" "No, I just suddenly felt a bit." As I spoke, I turned my head to look at her, only to freeze. My eyes caught the dark red marks on her neck and my breath hitched in my throat. Isabella didn't notice anything unusual. She nuzzled her cheek against mine, her voice soft. You just felt a bit what?" I forced a smile, my words barely escaping. "A bit unwell." She tensed, pulling away from me instantly. Her hand flew to my forehead, her gaze scanning my face with concern. "How come you're suddenly sick? What's wrong? I'll take you to the hospital." Without waiting for an answer, she grabbed my hand, ready to drag me out the door. I gently pulled her back toward the couch. "No need. It was just a headache. I'm feeling better now." "Really?" Her eyes narrowed with suspicion. Seeing the reassurance in my smile, she leaned in to kiss me, her lips brushing close. "I have a surprise for you tonight, okay?" I turned my head slightly, avoiding her kiss. She paused, looking at me in confusion. I offered a faint smile in response. "Did you drink a lot tonight? Go take a shower." Isabella sniffed her sleeve, then chuckled as if trying to cover up something she hadn't quite caught. "All right, I'll go take a shower. Wait for me, okay?" I watched as Isabella happily walked toward the bathroom, the smile on my face slowly fading away. "Sorry, Isabella, this would be the last time I waited for you." When she returned, fresh from the shower, she found me already deep in sleep. She muttered something under her breath, then, as always, wrapped her arms around my waist and drifted off beside me. What had once been a position that filled me with warmth now felt stifling, even suffocating. The next morning, before we were fully awake, a loud knock at the bedroom door startled us. Isabella frowned, then, with a tenderness I didn't deserve, she tucked the blanket around me and went to open the door. Outside, Moore pushed past her, his eyes immediately locking on me. His expression twisted with both fury and pain. He gritted his teeth, glaring at Isabella with barely contained resentment before letting out a cold snort and turning to leave. "Brother?" Isabella lifted her foot, eager to chase after but then her eyes softened and she pulled it back. She turned to me, her gaze filled with something unreadable. "Darling, my brother's probably upset. You should rest a little longer. I'll go check on him." Before I could say a word, she was already rushing out, a little too eager to leave. With all the commotion, sleep was a distant thought. I rose, made breakfast and tidied up the kitchen, the movements almost mechanical. When I headed downstairs with the trash, a thought crossed my mind. I decided to take the fire escape, seeking a bit of fresh air to clear my mind. But the moment my fingers grazed the doorknob, Dash's voice stopped me. His words were heavy, laden with frustration. Isabella, you're such a liar. Just yesterday, you told me you've stayed pure for me, and now today, you're sharing a bed with him? Isabella's sigh was soft, almost like a laugh tinged with helplessness. Brother, don't be ridiculous. River and I are legally married. If we slept in separate beds, people would talk. But believe me, I've never let him touch me. We only sleep beside each other, she added, her voice laced with a false sense of innocence. Dash let out a cold, dismissive snort. I don't care. Even lying beside each other is unacceptable. I'm not happy about it. Isabella's voice trembled as she responded, all right. Then what do you want me to do? His response was sharp, his tone possessive. I want Isabella to stay with me for a whole month. You can only sleep next to your brother. Isabella hesitated, her lips parting with a soft before his aggressive, demanding kisses pulled her under his control. Come on, say it. Yes or no? If you don't agree, I'll kiss your lips until they're swollen. Okay, I'll figure something out. Don't be so rough. Your sister still has to face people, you know. The tension in the room tightened, and unable to bear their lovey-dovey exchange any longer, I released the door handle and silently retreated to the elevator. Upstairs, Isabella was already sitting at the dining table, eating the breakfast I had made. She glanced up when I entered, her face filled with guilt. Darling, there's a business trip out of town. The client is really difficult in Briar and the others can't handle it. I have to go. It might take a month. I froze for a moment, taken aback by her excuse. In the first year of our marriage, she had gone on a 3-day business trip. I ended up hospitalized with a gastric bleed, left alone, with no one there to care for me. When she came back and found out, she immediately declared to the company that she'd never go on another business trip. She would rather give up on out-of-town clients than be away from me for even a day. That was the moment she became famous for having a love brain. Now, with her true love back, it was no surprise that she had conveniently forgotten all those things she once pretended to care about. I nodded at her, the weight of the situation settling over me. Then I'll pack your luggage. As I opened the suitcase that hadn't been seen in a long time, a sketch slipped out. I picked it up. It was the draft of the ring I was currently wearing. Inside the setting of the diamond, 2 letters were hidden. D.I. The designer of that ring? Dash. A chill ran through me and my fingers trembled uncontrollably.